Everybody, we are live Championship review. Morning Ben, morning Charlie, morning Matt. Had a few, hi Piers, had a few complaints last time that the sound and the video lagged. I'm just doing this on an iPad, so we'll have a look at the technology going forward. Hi Bob. So we are here to talk about yesterday's run of Championship games, and I said it had become like a three-horse race with Leeds and Norwich and West Brom all steaming away into the distance, but it all changed a little bit yesterday. So the top three all struggled. First losing, second losing. What a win for the Rams, says Tyler, indeed. A draw for third, and then fourth, fifth and sixth all winning. So it all squished up a little bit yesterday, although it was not a good day for the chasing pack. Nobody win. Hello, SUFC gamers. Karanka really under pressure now. Yes, sir, he is. So let's start off at the top, and it was Leeds versus Hull. What was the win streak for Leeds? It was seven straight wins. Leeds had stormed. Tyler says he flogged Norwich v Derby, so check that out. Tyler Taft, have a look at that. Tyler's just up in the comments there, so go and check out his video. I suspect it was fairly mental, as every single game at Carrow Road has been for the last few months. Back to Leeds and Hull. So Leeds win streak ends, but let's start with Hull. Elphick is going back to Villa. Irvine wasn't around. Campbell, the top scorers. Ben, you are God. Thank you, Matt, very kind. Father, Son and Holy Spirit. No Campbell, the top scorer. They do have Jared Bowen, though, who's on fire at the moment, isn't he? Wonder if any of the top teams would, morning Glenn, would fancy Jared Bowen. Probably get him for, although the way Championship figures are now, it probably cost you about 10 million now, wouldn't it? 10 for the season for Bowen. 3 doubles in his last 5 games, scores them in twos by the look of it. So Hull, just absolutely amazing. 5th win in 6th, top of the form table. Over the last 6 games, Hull are the best team in the entire league. Unbelievable stuff. Leeds hold on to top spot mainly due to Leeds are linked with Bowen. Says that would make absolutely actually God, Bowen would be good at Leeds, wouldn't he? Coming in off the right there. I think a few of the top teams will be linked with Bowen. Inverted winger, very, very useful. Matt says Hull for the playoffs. The only trouble, Hull, I've got every admiration for them. They're playing absolutely brilliant. They're just so far back. They would literally have to stay pretty much top of the form table for the rest of the season, and the teams already in the top 6 would have to be sort of below average, like 1.3, 1.4 points per game for Hull to get anywhere near. But I'm completely full of admiration. We'll just see, because we know what the owners at Hull are like, and if they do get money flashed at them for Bowen, you know full well they're taking it. So that would be very interesting to see. Interesting also to see how, hi Brian, how Leeds now progress after this small setback. They've been absolutely amazing. So I think they were linked with a striker from Portsmouth as well. All of that's going to start up soon as well, so that will change the landscape a bit. All the signings that we expect to happen in January. I said home win, completely the wrong way round there. Hull pulled our pants down on that one on the prediction. Norwich 3. Derby 4. Rory quickly, Leeds fan here. Leeds dominated yesterday. Not worried that our results will drop off. We played our usual stuff. There did seem a bit of a sense that Hull got that first goal, sat in, and just sucker punched Leeds for the second one. So anyway, another ridiculous game. Morning, Stephen, Borough fan. Stephen, get in the comments when we do Borough versus Ipswich, because I wasn't there yesterday. Ridiculous game at Carrow Road. What have Norwich fans not seen this season? This is Norwich's last 5 home games. 1-4-3, 1-3-1, 1-3-2, drawn 3-3, lost 3-4. Norwich get a taste of their own medicine for once. It's very funny, says Neil. All right, Ben, were you at Carrow Road for the floodlights game? I was not at Carrow. I had a day off yesterday. I did a jigsaw puzzle down here that I got for Christmas and just had a rest. Too much football. I will be back on New Year's Day though for Millwall Ipswich. Godfrey and Pookie put Norwich 2-0 up. Tamori and Mount make it 2-2 at half time. Pookie gets his 15th league goal of the season on 81 to make it 3-2. And then we've said Norwich have been very lucky all season. Well, they weren't very lucky because the floodlights went out and Frank Lampard has since admitted that he gave a full team talk and changed the team shape as everybody went off. Derby come out and Joseph Soon and Marriott give Norwich, yes, a taste of their own medicine. They lose 4-3 in injury time. So Norwich finally lose that ridiculous unbeaten run. It was up to 12 games. But West Brom, we're going to come on to them in a minute. West Brom didn't capitalise fully. They only took a point. So what has happened is, we'll talk about it in... let's just see what the comments... if Norwich don't shore up the defence, I think we will slide down the league. Scoring is not a problem, but too few clean sheets. I put that question back. I think that was Neil who commented, surely when Hanley and Closer get back, it will improve. I mean, Closer is back, isn't he? But maybe it's systemic with Norwich. Maybe they're just incredibly open, and the reason that they're able to score all these goals is that they're piling forward. But yes, they do seem to have a very porous defence. I had a look yesterday. I think Bolton have got a better defensive record than Norwich, but also West Brom have got a pretty bad defensive record. So, you know, look where Bolton are in the league and look where Norwich and West Brom. So it doesn't matter too much. So yeah, it's all squished up a little bit now. Very interesting to see how Norwich react. They've got Brentford away, and then that big game against West Brom. We'll see if Jay Rodriguez gets, if they appeal that red card, but he may not be out. Ben says, I think Norwich will slide down the table. It will be very interesting to see how they react. There's some hard games coming up. Come on to the Ipswich stuff, Matt, in a little bit. I said home win on that one. Again, pants pulled down. Away win, the top two, both playing at home, both losing. Who would have thunk it, hey? Who would have thunk that West Brom wouldn't beat Sheffield Wednesday as well? Big chance for West Brom here. They get a draw 1-1. They could have really, really lost. Do I think this will be a turning point for Leeds? Will they continue to perform? From what I saw in their game at Villa, I can't see them not being in the top two. They were so fantastic in that game. Everybody has an off day. We'll see. We'll see. Leeds, you know, over the years have been a pretty chaotic team, so you know it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility for a collapse given the history of the club. But they just look so good. I can't see it. Forest v Leeds, big game on New Year's Day. Says Ben, that will be a really good. I suspect that's already sold out at Forest. Excuse me. So yeah, big chance for West Brom. Could have gone second. Newey, though, gives Wednesday the lead and 5 minutes. The big guy up front. Straight red for Rodriguez, as we've mentioned. That may well put him out of the Norwich game. 94th minute own goal there saves West Brom. So it's a net gain for West Brom because they're 1 point further up on... we'll talk about Karanka, we'll talk about Ipswich in a bit, Bradley and Graham. Thanks for commenting. It is, you know, they've taken points out of Norwich the past 2 games, West Brom. Yes, they've taken 4 points out of Norwich. No, 3 points out of Norwich the past 2 games. But it's a long game, and we will see how they move on. Still, slight worries. Have West Brom, the manager, savvy enough to compete with these other more experienced guys at the top? We'll see. Wednesday, 7 points out of 9 under lead Bullen. Superb Christmas. Unlucky to concede so late, but 16th will do for them considering where they've come from. I said home win. Wrong. Again, all of the top 3 playing at home, none of them winning. At last, we have a top 6 team win here. Sheffield United 3, Blackburn 0. Sheffield United had a great Christmas, and I said about it squidging up. So Norwich had a draw and a defeat. Sheffield United had 2 wins, so they've taken 5 points out of Norwich in those 2 games. That's what's squished it all up. So they're 2 clear in 4th, only 4 off Norwich in 2nd place. I think they also go to Norwich in the next month. So if Sheffield United want to lay down a marker. What a win for the Blades, says FUFC Gamer. If they want to lay down a marker, really, really big. Why are Wednesday not appointing Steve Bruce until after January? I think he just wanted a rest and wanted to start after that, is what I'd read. I could be wrong about that. Glenn says red cards changed the game. Well, there were 2 red cards. Basham off for the Blades on 51, 2 yellow, so he'll only have a 1-match ban. So Rovers played 20 minutes. Basham shouldn't have been sent off. It was a handball from a free kick, wasn't it, for the second one? 11 versus 10 for 20 minutes for Rovers. Then Smallwood gets sent off, and then it all goes mental. Terrible red at the lane. I think they're referring to Basham's one. I've got a couple of Blades fans on here. Sharp with 2 goals, like Pookie, he's up to 15 now. So I think Mopai, Pookie and Sharp have all got 15. Has Graham got 15 as well? Is he still on 14? I don't know. McGoldrick also scores. Just to pile it on for Ipswich fans yesterday, McGoldrick scored, Webster scored, Garner scored 2, Selina got an assist, and Pittman scored as well. All of the players Ipswich sold last summer all scored, whilst Ipswich flamed at the bottom of the league. Anyway, I'm talking Sheffield United. Blades, as it stands, they're still outperforming all the big spenders. If you look at it at the top there, I know Norwich fans will say they're not big spenders, but compare where Norwich and where Sheffield United have come from. Norwich have come down from the Premier League, and they've got closer was 8 million. Hanley was 5 million, whereas the Blades, yes, Bruce is taking over January the 1st. Never seen a red card where the player injures the opposition and their own teammate at the same time. I once saw Dion Dublin do that. Oh no, he injured himself. He got stretchered off and red carded at the same time for an elbow. But yes, the Blades, as I say, outperforming in terms of spend, everybody up there in the top 6. Let's see what Wilder gets in January. Dowler's already arrived, so we will see that. How's Cedric, Stephen? Cedric, if everyone doesn't know. I can't see him. I hope he's okay. He's probably hidden underneath. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Cedric is right in the corner there. I can't. It's a bit weird when you do it on YouTube. It changes the angle on the camera a little bit. When I set it up, he was in shot. So, can you see him if I do that? We'll do that a little bit. There he goes. There is Cedric, everybody. You can see him hiding there. We'll move this snow globe out of the way so Cedric can become part of the entertainment here on my live stream. I said home win. I was right for once. Not right very often. Borough 2, Ipswich 0. How depressing. Borough back to winning ways. Hugel from the penalty spot. Tavernier with right through Gherkin for the second one. A highly predictable home victory for the Borough. They're interested to see what Borough do over the next 5 or 6, especially is Pulis going to get backed? Are they going to give him a whole wedge of money to spend? We shall see. Stephen says we finally scored 2 in a game and got a clean sheet. Well, playing Ipswich at home is a guarantee of 2 goals. That's 13 in a row. Tony said he wants to spend, says Bradley. Does Steve Gibson want to give him the money? Matt says, is the Millwall game the biggest game in Ipswich Town's history? I mean, we said this about so many of Ipswich games. Must win, must win, must win. 2 home games for Ipswich now. Millwall at home, then Accrington in the cup is a bit of a rest, I guess. Then Rotherham at home. They need 4 points from those 2 games to have any chance. They really they need 6. They're so far back. Given that you then expect them not to win for a while after that, so really vital. I see where Matt's coming from in respects that they haven't been down in the 3rd tier for 60 years or something. Kyle's quickly back to Sheffield United. What do you think Sheffield United need in January to really challenge? Well, Dow will help. When you look, it's just difficult because Sheffield United have picked up, and you pick up a kind of hodgepodge of broken players like McGoldrick with his injury record, Sharp with his age, Duffy with his age, lots of League One players. I know it's not easy. They need to pick up another Norwood type player where you invest a bit of money, an extra 20 million. Yeah, that's the sad state of it. John says an extra 20 million. It's true when you're competing against people with such money and they're willing to invest the parachute payments that they've got those huge sums. So they need another Norwood type signing that can go straight in the team and be one of the top 3 players in the team. Easier said than done, especially in January, because people were not going to want to sell that type of player. Let's move on. We've done Ipswich. I said home win, vital time for them coming up. A couple of 0-0 draws here. Birmingham 0, Brentford 0. So I think John was in the stream, wasn't Wilder says he's not spent the Brooks money. That's interesting. Who do you think will fit in under Pulis if we were to get something? I said last time a creative player for Borough, but I got laughed off here because they said, well, Pulis won't use him properly, but maybe needs to force the issue in the midfield there. The defence does seem to be very, very solid. 7 shots to 5 in Brentford's favour, 60% possession. I mean, we know Birmingham don't need possession to win given their threat up front. 3 at the back seems to have been a good switch for Thomas Frank and Brentford. Good result, I think, for Brentford. A game too far for the Blues. Small squad ran out of steam. Brentford came for a point. Liam says, if Bruce is nailed on for Sheffield Wednesday, create some tasty derby. Blades fans hate him. I think it was going on, just went off the screen after his first spell. Did manage Sheffield United and leave under a cloud. He's left a few places under a cloud, Bruce, actually, hasn't he? So Birmingham lose ground on Derby but stay 7th. I think Birmingham doing a great job considering the expectations there to be 7th. Fantastic. Although I would be worried if I was a Blues fan at that crowd just underneath them. Billy Sharp, 1 more goal to be top scorer in all 4 divisions this century. Sharp is very, very prolific. Bruce first game against Blues on New Year's Day. Yeah, if that is confirmed, he'll go back to Birmingham where he was manager as well. Steve Bruce has managed about half of the Championship now, though, hasn't he? It must be at least 5 teams. Okay, what? Villa, Hull, Blues, Palace aren't in there. Sheffield United, Huddersfield aren't in there anymore. Definitely 4, and then if you count Sheffield Wednesday, that's 5. I'm sure I've missed one out. Blacklisted Pigeon. Think Bruce is coming later in January. We shall see. Needs to get in there sooner rather than later. I can't see what the hold up is. Brentford unbeaten in 3, look like they've arrested their slide. Now I said home win for Blues, but they didn't get it. Very similar story at Loftus Road. 0-0 QPR versus Reading. John says we won't challenge for the playoffs. Squad's too small. Probably the same for QPR. Dave says West Brom and Derby both lost to Bolton. I think. Yeah, that's true actually. He's been spending time with his family after a hard year. Yeah, that's correct. Steve Bruce has lost both his parents this year. Really tough one. I know we just concentrate on the football here, but there are other more important things going on that we don't know about or don't appreciate. QPR 0, Reading 0. Looked like Reading had a few good chances in this one, so fair point by the looks of it. So Reading managed to get his first point, first clean sheets, although they are 23rd. They need wins down the bottom there. I said home when expected QPR to knock them over. Maybe that just shows how bad Ipswich are if Reading can hold out a lot better than Ipswich did. Moving on, Preston 1, Villa 1. Bruce recharging batteries till the end of January. Okay. Although the way Lee Bullen's going, he's got 7 points in 3 games. Matt says Ipswich, Reading and Rotherham for relegation. Bookies won't give you much for that, Matt. That looks like a safe bet at the moment. Bolton are going down to League One, says Ben. Agent Bruce to help relegate the... I won't say what that says. We had a lot of this Agent Lambert stuff when he took over Ipswich as well. Villa, the 3rd of the chasing pack, not to win here. Come away from Deepdale with a point. Abraham, 14 goals in 19 starts. So he's easily projecting high 20s. If you look in our column, Ipswich and Reading nailed on for the drop, says John. If you look in our feed, excellent interview with ex-Ipswich striker David Johnson. Says that Championship strikers don't get 30 goals anymore. It just doesn't happen. Maybe the defending is slightly better. Liam says Preston are doing really well. They have most of their key players injured. Very, very true. We read them all out. There was like 8 of them. Off the top of my head, Robinson, Pearson suspended, Malt. God, there was another 5 as well. I'm sure he'll help me out with them. They had to rely on Nemecha, who hasn't scored yet. Did he get the goal yesterday, or was it his own goal by Elmer Hamley? It says on my laptop anyway. Villa, like all the chasing pack, didn't win. 2 away games, took 4 points, probably satisfactory. 5 points back Villa from the playoffs. They're really delaying their run. They need a win streak, Villa. They need to win 3 or 4 on the trot. The Villa were raging. They didn't beat Preston reserves. Quite funny, says John, from his Birmingham point of view there. Preston, good result given all the injuries. Rotherham on New Year's Day, then the FA Cup. Matt, how much does Marcus Evans have to take the blame for Ipswich Town's season? Not necessarily the season, Matt, but for the past 4 years, probably most of it, I'd say. I said away win, Villa didn't get it. Millwall won. It was a deflection, this is Liam. Much mirth amongst Preston that he still hasn't managed a real goal. We had that with Freddie Sears, he went forever and was like literally on the goal line, about to score, and a defender slid in front of him and scored an own goal. So I know how Nemeccia feels. We've seen that. Millwall 1, Forest 0. Forest are in a slump now. Ben says, wasn't a bad performance. Millwall's playing style doesn't suit us at all. Inevitable, really. Scrappy at the Den. As a town supporter living in Reading, we'll be happy for them to go down with us, if it must be. So, do you think Sheffield United are the most entertaining team to watch? Lee says, definitely Sheffield United, Leeds and Norwich are the 3 most entertaining, and they're all in the top. Hey, West Brom as well. That's quite good for football, isn't it? That those 4 at the top, all very, very attacking. Weirdly, the answer was always Brentford until Dean Smith left and they got really bad. But yeah, those have all taken over the mantle. They're just preface that by saying entertaining. Entertaining is different. Norwich is probably entertaining just for the sheer chaos of it all. If you're talking about the best footballing teams, then it is probably Sheffield United in terms of all the passing and all the players committed forward off the 3-5-2. I'm ready for the comments to destroy me on that comment. Millwall get the early goal from the set play. How many times have we seen that over the last 2 seasons? Tunnicliffe in the first 10 minutes. Karanka, if he is in trouble, this has not helped there. 6 points back from the playoffs. Brentford were poor to watch yesterday, diving all over the place. Yeah, Brentford have gone down. Do you think Karanka will go if Forest beat Leeds? That's what the papers are saying for sure. Karanka definitely in trouble. For example, in the past 4 games, QPR have gained 8 points on Forest. Millwall, we know they have Ben's secret Blades fan. Come on, Paul. If you're an Ipswich fan in the late 90s, we hated Sheffield United. There we go. I've just joined. Have you already talked about the Birmingham game? Yes, you have, Matthew. You have to watch back on the stream. We were Ben's a piggy wig. I'm Ipswich through and through. There we go. Will Derby blow it second half or spend in January? Possibly both. Lee, up the Blades, says Sam. Where did we get to? Yeah, Millwall, we know they've got good momentum when they do get going. 2 wins, 2 clean sheets over Christmas. Next game, Millwall versus Ipswich at Portman Road. I hope their momentum does not continue. I said draw in that one, but Millwall get the win. Yeah, Karanka maybe. Derby can't spend due to FFP. That may be true. They may need to flog someone if they want anyone to come in. Although whenever it seems like Derby can't. I remember they said they couldn't spend in summer, and then Marriott came after Waghorn. Dave says correct, though. We shall see. Bristol City, the big moves of the day, they went up 2 places. They beat Rotherham 1-0. 9-man Rotherham in the end. Jones and Towell sent off. See, this is what it's like being an Ipswich fan. I'm actually pleased that a Rotherham player has been sent off and he can't play against Ipswich in a couple of games' time. That is what it's come to, dearie me. No disrespect to Rotherham, but it didn't used to be like this. Webster, ex-Ipswich in the 86th minute with the goal. Can we trust Bristol City? 13 points in 7 games, moving up into the chasing pack, admittedly a long way back, and you never know when the losing streak's going to come. For them, Rotherham have had a really, really bad Christmas. Graben didn't start for Forest yesterday due to poor form. Interesting, Graben with a rest. We can't even afford to play George Thorne. Would be a great loan for Ipswich. That's interesting, Dave. Millwall and Wigan to stay up, possibly. I'd be interested in that George Thorne thing. Is the payment going to get triggered if he plays another game or something? Rotherham are doing incredibly, considering, yes, they are. They've done fantastically all season to be out of the bottom 3, but they've just dropped into it incredibly. Bolton managed to get there. Biggest team to be relegated other than Ipswich this year. Sorry, mate. Rotherham defence has looked poor in the last few weeks, says John. 1 win in 18 for Rotherham. He said on Twitter yesterday, Thorne said that, Dave, just smart me up on that. Bolton 0, Stoke 0. How are Bolton out of the bottom 3? They've literally lost, drawn, lost, drawn, lost, whatever it's been. 1 win and 1 draw, and they've gone out of the bottom 3. Really shows how bad it is down there. Move up to 22nd on Rotherham. Thanks, Dave. On goal difference. Bolton seem to have the better openings too. 1 good save from Butland near the end there for Stoke. I looked at Togden's blog on Twitter. Very good, YouTube. Very good YouTuber. Bolton YouTuber, showing some Stoke fans chanting the same things that Ipswich fans chanted at Mick McCarthy last season. John says, Rowett to get binned soon. Paul says, don't like Norwich, but hope Ipswich can survive. So the Stoke fans getting grumpier by the week, and it's D-Day, isn't it? Because you think there's parachute money there, but will he be giving it? I think they're quite loyal with their managers, Stoke, aren't they? So we shall see. Does anybody like Bolton? Rather poor up front, but well organised considering resources. If Ipswich get relegated, will you continue to do the Championship or will you do League One? That question constantly gets asked. Stoke have failed this season. We're probably going to continue to do the Championship. Heard Joe Allen to Bournemouth for 20 million. Joe Allen does look a bit too good for the Championship. But yes, the plan is now we've built up this Championship following to keep doing this and still be dipping in and doing the Blue Monday podcast for Ipswich. So yeah, great time for Bolton. I said away win. Right, last one here. Swansea against Stoke. Swansea 13th. Swansea against Wigan. Sorry. Concentrate. 2-2. Wigan stopped the rot after 4 straight defeats. 2-0 up though. 2 goals for Joe Garner, one of my favourite players from last season. Clear 1v1 chance at 2-0 for Wigan as well. That goes wide of the post. And then Swansea banging a couple of set plays and it's 2-2. Wigan 4 points off the relegation show. They've been so bad away from home though that is a meaningful point. I think they've lost like 10 in 11 or something away from home. So good for them to change that. Swansea first draw in 13. They need to stabilise. Again, ex-Premier League team. So will people like Montero and Bonney go out in January? Will anyone come in? I assume they're on rather large wages. I said home win. Let's just go and have a quick look because I advertised this feed as a Joe Allen should definitely be in the Prem. He's too good for the Championship. Reminds me of Barry Bannon. How good is Joe Garner? I don't know how good he is, Matt, but you like him on your team. Teams like Rotherham, Wigan, Blackburn need to be aiming for 50 points concrete for survival. I think it's going to be lower than that this season, Glenn, given how bad. There was a run recently where you looked at the form and none of the bottom 6 had won for 6 games, so like 36 games between them, opportunities to win, and none of them had won. So on the YouTube feed, I post ahead of time, and you can comment on there. Simon says, Norwich must improve at the back. All our goals conceded to Derby resulted from poor defending. Steve says, whilst being an exciting league, I can't see any of the teams who will go up this season staying in the Prem. When did Norwich fans begin to have this chip on their shoulder about being big time? Where does it come from? No, I can't possibly comment on that. Being an Ipswich fan, that will cause me all kinds of trouble. Steve's probably right. There's no Wolves or Newcastle this season where you think that's a huge team who's then going to be all right in the Premier League. Ben Karanka really under pressure. I think we've done that. Leeds on New Year's Day. Mr. Chode, what is your realistic top 2 at the end of the season? West Brom and Leeds, you'd say, at the moment, depending on any of those teams coming from further back. Adam says, no questions, but some insight from the Leeds game. As a Leeds fan, Hull looked very drilled. They didn't have much of the ball on many shots, but counted very effectively. Dark horses for the playoffs. Just think Hull are a bit too far back, Adam. Harrison says, must be League One football for Ipswich now, surely. We just need to have an amazing... Van La Parra, typical Pulis player. Yeah, I'll give you that. Must be League One for what can Lambert do to keep us up? Would have to be an incredible January. It would need 7 points probably in January and 3 decent signings. Looks like Nedson's gone. Hull for the playoffs again. A lot of love for Hull on the feed today. Right, thank you everybody for joining in. I think I'm getting the hang of these feeds. Sorry if the audio and the video go out. I don't know what to do about that at this stage. This is only my 3rd or 4th live feed. You can follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Obviously, if you're watching the feed, you've probably subscribed already. But if you're new, please do subscribe and try and get involved in the live feed. Thanks, Glenn. Teams down the bottom, don't change form around. Yeah. Cheers, Ben. Cheers, Brian. Liam says it's fine today. Liam, I don't think it was in the real time. I think it was when YouTube buffered it later. I think it lagged. Bye to Ben, the Scunthorpe fan. Matt, good luck for you in Ipswich against Millwall. We will need it. Get your money on Jake Cooper. Kyle says thanks Kyle. Thanks Stephen. That's a Borough badge in there. Stephen's a Borough fan. So let me think about this. We'll probably go live. In fact, let me know in the comments. Do you want me to do the live feed for New Year's Day on New Year's Day morning, or do you want me to do it tomorrow morning, a day ahead? I might put that up as a question in the YouTube community thing on the comments. So comment on that one. Any questions as normal, stick them in the feed here or at Benjamin Bloom on Twitter. Paul says both. Dave says tomorrow. Happy New Year to all fans except Leeds and Wednesday. Ben says tomorrow morning. So maybe we'll go tomorrow morning and do that preview. Yeah, John says a date. I think John's going to be having a few adult beverages on New Year's Eve. Right, guys, thank you very much. Glenn's working tomorrow morning, so he can't. You might have been outvoted, Glenn. We'll see. I'll put a comment. Jake Cooper for the hat trick. It'd be the most Ipswich thing in the world, probably a centre-half scoring a hat-trick against them. Right, I'm going to stop the feed now. Thank you very, very much. Oh, hello in Australia. Harry, nice one. Have a good one. Thanks, Ben. Let me know how Forest go. Right, going to hang it up. I've said that about 5 times, and we'll see you for the preview for the next one. Bye, Stephen. Bye, everybody.